Good afternoon. I want to thank you for attending. We have a major announcement today for the future of the Mississippi Department of Human Services. Today we'll be announcing not only the culmination of a long process, but also the beginning of a journey that will ultimately lead us to where we need to be, both as an agency and as public servants. And when Governor Reeves asked me about 5 months ago, almost 6 months ago now, to take this job, he said he selected me because he needed someone whose integrity is beyond reproach, who could right the ship and move this agency forward out of the cloud of controversy that was created by a prior administration. And to do this, I have implemented what I'm calling Operation Restore Trust. And Operation Restore Trust is based on three primary pillars: integrity, compliance, and excellence. And under my watch, this agency will conduct itself within those guidelines and within these three principles. And we will at all times be accountable, accessible, and transparent. Now, that's why I'm pleased to announce today that we have selected Clifton Larson Allen, LLP, to conduct a thorough, objective, forensic audit of this agency's TANF spending. Through this process, we'll identify any irregularities, any misconduct or fraud related to the agency's TANF subgrants, contracts, procurement, and any other TANF financial activity during the subject audit period. And that period is January 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2019, that 4-year period. Now, through this forensic audit, MDHS is seeking a complete, objective, and accurate assessment of any misspent funds, the identity of any and all MDHS personnel involved, and the scope of any civil or criminal fraud that is discovered during the audit. It's no secret that we initiated this request for information for forensic audit services based on alleged mishandling of TANF funds by a former MDHS executive director and possibly other MDH employees acting with him during this audit period. Now, alleged misspending and mishandling of TANF funds was further identified in the 2019 single audit issued earlier this year by the Office of the State Auditor back in April. For this reason, the Office of the State Auditor has been, is, and will continue to be a third-party participant in this process. They were valued participants in the selection of Clifton Larson Allen, and they'll be involved throughout the audit process until the final report is received. Now, Clifton Larson Allen is an internationally recognized accounting firm, and it is consistently ranked among the top 8 accounting firms in the nation. They have extensive experience working with government agencies and with our MAGIC process, which is our accounting process within the state of Mississippi. They have demonstrated valuable TANF audit experience that will be crucial to the forensic audit project. Now, this is not a process that we have taken lightly. This selection required a thorough, painstaking review of many highly qualified agencies to select the one agency best capable of meeting the requirements of this project. Now, I want to take this time to recognize some of the folks who were on the selection committee. A couple of them are here behind me. Sandra Griffith, who is our Chief Compliance Officer, was part of the selection committee, as well as Rochelle Richardson, who is our Deputy Executive Director for Age-Related Programs. Chris Rand, our Director of Internal Audit, was also a part of the selection committee. And we had 2 individuals from the State Auditor's Office. Stephanie Palmer-Tree, who is the Director of the Financial and Compliance Audit Division at the State Auditor's Office. She, in fact, directed our single audit earlier this year, and she has directed the single audit of this agency for several years. And Michael Torres, who is the Director of the State Agency Audit Division at the State Auditor's office. Both of them were part of the selection committee involved in selecting Clifton Larson. Now, we had 8 highly reputable and respected firms who initially responded to this request for information, and we had a prescribed evaluation process that our procurement office put together. The evaluation committee reviewed and scored all 8 of these respondents, and as a consensus, they selected 4 firms with the highest scores as potential finalists for consideration. Now, those 4 firms were then asked to submit to us a price proposal, which was used in making the final decision. And finally, after considering all the information provided by those 4 finalist firms, the evaluation committee recommended Clifton Larson Allen by consensus as the highest ranking response among all of those responding to the request for information. Now, the forensic audit that we're announcing today, we expect to commence next Tuesday, September the 8th, and it will continue for about 9 months until May 31st of 2021. The cost is not small. The audit will cost about $2.1 million, and we have been approved and authorized to pay for it with federal funds through the Department of Health and Human Services. In addition to the selection committee, I've also appointed an audit committee internal to MDHS who will work with Clifton Larson Allen. A couple of members of that audit committee are here. Cameron Harris, who is our Deputy Compliance Officer, and Bridget Bell, who is our Chief Financial Officer, will serve on that audit committee along with Brett Robinson, who's one of the auditors in our internal audit division, and Nathan Wilson, who is a Deputy Executive Director over Administrative Services. They will meet throughout the process of the 9-month forensic audit with the audit firm, with individuals of the State Auditor's Office, and we'll be keeping track of the progress of the audit as it goes forward. Now, again, I am very pleased to make this announcement today. I look forward to what lies ahead, and I welcome the results of this forensic audit, because only with this information, no matter what the results are, can we be truly able to begin to heal and regain the trust of all stakeholders. Only through this forensic audit process can we get at the question, is there a difference between the question costs in the single audit and the true unallowable costs under federal law? Because the unallowable costs are those costs that we will be called upon as an agency in the months and years to come to make repayment to the federal partners that we deal with. But through this process, we will complete this operation Restore Trust. We'll realize that. Well, this audit will entail all of the forensic spending by this agency from January 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2019. You know, one of the biggest differences between a forensic audit and a single audit has some materiality requirements and is done based on testing. The forensic audit will essentially look at every transaction. There is no materiality aspect to a forensic audit. So every single TANF transaction for that 4-year period will be examined as a part of the forensic audit process. Well, again, thank you all for being here, and we'll certainly be available through our communication office if you do have any follow-up questions. Thank you very much.